SunTrust Park is a baseball park under construction that will serve as the future home of the Atlanta Braves of Major League Baseball. Located in the Cumberland area of Cobb County, Georgia, northwest of Atlanta. Instead of renovating Turner Field, their current ballpark, the Braves announced on November 11, 2013, that they would leave when the lease ends after 2016 for a new stadium to be built in Cobb County, north of Atlanta. The Braves will play the first game at the new park on Thursday, April 13, 2017 against the San Diego Padres. Background: Turner Field has been the home of the Atlanta Braves of Major League Baseball since the 1997 season. It was originally built as Centennial Olympic Stadium for the 1996 Summer Olympics, then partially reconstructed as a baseball-only stadium for the 1997 baseball season, eliminating the possibility of other sporting event uses such as track and field. The stadium is owned by the Atlanta-Fulton County Recreation Authority and leased to the Braves, who have full control over its operations. Turner Field is a relatively new facility, being younger than 13 of Major League Baseball's other 29 stadiums. Nonetheless, there were numerous issues that eventually led the Braves to seek a new ballpark. According to Vice Chairman John Schuholtz, Turner Field needs $350 million in renovations, $150 million for structural upkeep and $200 million to improve the fan experience. Braves Executive Vice President Mike Plant has stated that capital maintenance would be much less at the new stadium, while Turner Field was designed from the ground up with the Braves in mind. Plant said that it requires higher capital maintenance costs because it was value engineered for the 1996 Summer Olympics. This has led to higher capital maintenance costs in the long run. Plant estimates that capital maintenance costs at the new stadium will be no more than $80 million after 30 years, less than the $150 million in capital maintenance needed for Turner Field after 17 years. Braves executives say that fans have been unwilling to come to games in recent years due to Metro Atlanta's infamous traffic congestion. Also, the Braves claim that parking around the stadium is inadequate. Turner Field is underserved by about 5,000 parking spaces. In addition, Plant has noted the downtown location doesn't match up with where the majority of our fans come from. Plant said that while the Braves operate Turner Field, they have no control over the commercial development around the stadium. Other baseball stadiums built in recent years have been accompanied by nearby shopping and entertainment. The Braves were in talks in 2013 with the Recreational Authority to extend the team's original lease, Plant said, but those talks broke down. Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed said the city could not afford to support the kind of renovations the Braves desired, especially while already funding Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the National Football League's Atlanta Falcons. New stadium plans. The stadium will be in Cumberland, a fast-growing edge city in southeastern Cobb County. The ballpark will be located next to the highway interchange between Interstate 75 and Interstate 285. The stadium will have an Atlanta address due to its location in zip code 30,339, which is shared with the neighboring community of Vinings. The United States Postal Service considers this area to be unincorporated Atlanta. The Braves say the location is near the geographic center of the Braves fan base. The team announced at the stadium's groundbreaking that the naming rights were sold to SunTrust Banks for a 25-year partnership. Braves officials anticipated capacity of about 41,500, which is approximately 8,000 fewer fewer than Turner Field. In 2013, the Braves announced there would be about 6,000 parking spaces, which is 2,500 fewer than at Turner Field. However, in August 2016, the Braves announced that SunTrust Park would have 9,000 spots and add more spaces before opening day 2017. Also, in order to reduce traffic congestion, the Braves announced that games would start at 7:30 p.m. on games played Monday through Thursday. Games at Turner Field currently start at 7 p.m. on those days. The Braves plan to utilize thousands of additional parking spaces surrounding the stadium, including the Cobb Galleria area. These parking spaces will be connected to the stadium via a circulator shuttle. There are approximately 30,000 parking spaces within 2 miles of the proposed stadium site. The Braves are expected to announce Phase 2 of the parking plan in the fourth quarter of 2016 and Phase 3 in the first quarter of 2017. The new stadium will be constructed in a public-private partnership with a project budget of $622 million. Cobb County will contribute $392 million. The county is raising $368 million through bonds, $14 million from transportation taxes, and $10 million cash from businesses in the Cumberland Community Improvement District. The Braves will contribute the remaining $230 million, which can be increased up to $280 million at the team's discretion. In March 2015, a security filing from Braves owners Liberty Media allotted $672 million for SunTrust Park and $452 million for the surrounding mixed-use development. It adds up to a total cost of above $1.1 billion. The baseball stadium will occupy 15 acres of a 60-acre lot, with the remainder of the space devoted to parking, green space, and mixed-use development. Although the new stadium will be over 10 miles from the nearest train station, the Braves plan to use a circulator bus system to shuttle fans to and from the stadium. On July 8, 2015, the Braves announced an agreement for Atlanta-based Gas South to remain the official natural gas partner when the team moves to SunTrust Park. Under the agreement, Gas South will receive prominent signage in the new ballpark, including a 75-foot-long "Bring the Heat" LED board in left field that will display pitching statistics and fan-friendly messaging throughout the game. New entertainment district plans. On November 20, 2013, the Braves unveiled plans to build a $400 million entertainment district that will surround the ballpark. The district will feature a street lined with retail, restaurants and bars leading up to the stadium. The $400 million is entirely funded by the Braves and the development partners. On October 14, 2015, the Atlanta Braves announced that the complex would be called the Battery Atlanta. On March 17, 2015, the Braves announced a partnership with Comcast, under which Comcast will provide high-tech infrastructure for SunTrust Park and will become an anchor tenant at the Battery Atlanta. Comcast will occupy 100% of a 9-story office building in the mixed-use development adjacent to the stadium. The office tower, which will overlook the ballpark, will become Comcast's Southeast Regional Headquarters. According to Braves chairman and CEO Terry McGuirk, Comcast will lend its expertise to drive the most technologically advanced ballpark and mixed-use development ever built. Quote, Some 1,000 Comcast employees will work at the office building, most of them new hires. The office also will include an innovation lab for new technologies. On April 28, 2015, the Braves announced a 50-50 partnership with Omni Hotels and AMP Resorts on a luxury hotel to be built overlooking SunTrust Park. The full-service hotel will be 16 floors and have 260 rooms. It also will feature a 2-story restaurant, rooftop hospitality suites, and an elevated pool deck with views into the ballpark. The Atlanta Braves will the 50/50th owners with Omni Hotels and AMP Resorts. On July 16, 2015, the Braves and concert promoter Live Nation announced a deal to develop and manage the long-planned entertainment venue adjacent to SunTrust Park. The venue will be called the Roxy Theater in homage to the old Roxy Theater that was torn down in 1972. The venue will have standing room only capacity for 4,000 and feature about 40 music and comic shows annually. The theater is designed to help drive activity to the site on non-game days, and it will also play host to special events. The first restaurants announced for the Battery Atlanta were Antico Pizza, CRU Food and Wine Bar, Tomahawk Taproom featuring Fox Brothers Barbecue, Chef Ford Fry's Superika Restaurant, and a new steak concept by Chef Linton Hopkins. On May 19, 2016, the Braves announced several new signed tenants at the Battery Atlanta, including Wahlburgers, Harley-Davidson, and Goldberg's Bagel Co. and AMP Deli. The opening of the restaurant outside the Braves' new Cobb County ballpark is expected to be featured prominently in Wahlburgers, the Brothers A&E reality television show about the business. Another big operator, national restaurant, retail, casino and entertainment venue developer Cordish Cos, plans a trio of concepts including a professional bull riders association bar and AMP grill, featuring a mechanical bull design. On January 28, 2014, the Braves announced that Populous would be designing the new ballpark. Populous has designed 19 of the 30 Major League stadiums currently in use, including Marlins Park, Target Field, and Yankee Stadium. The Braves chose Populous over HKS Inc., who served as a consultant for the Braves prior to the selection of Populous. On May 14, 2014, the Braves released the first renderings of the new stadium. The ballpark will be oriented to the southwest. Only a handful of other major league ballparks have a southwest orientation, however. Braves officials said that a comprehensive sun study was conducted by the team and designers, and the orientation will not be an issue. The 7 images released by the Braves showcased the new ballpark as well as unique shops, restaurants and entertainment venues. Also, the plan is for the complex to offer approximately 500 residences, a boutique hotel, and office space. The ballpark will feature an intimate configuration, placing the highest percentage of seats closer to the field than any other ballpark in Major League Baseball. Braves Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing Derek Schiller has stated that the plans for the seating bowl are aimed at putting fans closer to the action, not by reducing the amount of foul territory, but with cantilever designs that push the middle and upper bowls toward the field. The ballpark will also include a 90 feet wide canopy horseshoeing around the stadium's top and air conditioning on every level to ensure that fans remain cool on hot summer days. The existing topography of the property has been integrated into the design. The Braves plan to use LED lights for the stadium. LED lights provide better quality for fans in the stands and watching on TV. LED lights will also reduce the time it takes to restore lighting in case of a power outage. On December 10, 2014, the Braves released new renderings of the planned entertainment complex surrounding SunTrust Park. The new renderings further define the public spaces and show a blend of architectural styles, with a blend of steel, brick and glass facades. Derek Schiller, the Braves' executive vice president of sales and marketing, said in a conference call with reporters that the rendering represent the concept of project's look and is not the final design, but the locations of buildings and streets demonstrated in the designs are largely settled. Two taller glass towers, a hotel and an office building, will feature views into the ballpark. The complex also will feature a brew pub and Braves store. The Braves named architectural design firm Wakefield Beasley & Amp Associates as the lead designer of the mixed-use project surrounding the stadium construction. On April 16, 2014, Atlanta Braves and Cobb County officials outlined the timetable for the new stadium's construction. Site clearing was scheduled to begin July 15, 2014 and complete by October 13, 2014. However, site clearing started ahead of schedule after the Cobb County Commission vote on May 27, 2014. The Atlanta Braves held a formal groundbreaking ceremony on September 16. The ceremony took place at the site near the northwest intersection of Interstate 75 and 285. In order to start construction, 3 natural gas lines that ran under the property had to be moved. The high cost of moving the gas lines is one of the key reasons the land had not been developed. The cost to move the lines was $14 million. The pipelines were moved to the perimeter. 2 of the lines, which run about 8 feet underground, are owned by Colonial Pipeline Company, and the third belongs to Atlanta Gas Light Company. The project was completed in early November 2014. In November 2014, workers started drilling the holes for the pylons around the outside perimeter of the stadium's footprint. According to the Braves' Vice President of Business Operations Mike Plant, Phase 1 of construction for both the stadium and mixed-use development began in November 2014 and included infrastructure for the site, such as sewer, water and electrical systems. The retention walls for the underground service level of the stadium were also built. The underground level will have a few hundred parking spaces for players, team doctors, clubhouse staff and management staff. By May 2015, crews had installed all the caissons to stabilize the foundation. With the caissons complete, the crews are beginning to pour concrete for the decks. On August 27, 2015, the Atlanta Braves held a ceremony for the first brick laid of 775,000 bricks that will be the main exterior at SunTrust Park. On hand for the ceremony were dignitaries from the Braves, Cobb County government, and ballpark sponsors. The first brick was laid by Eustace Morris, 83, who laid the first concrete block at Fulton County Stadium and placed the first and last bricks at Olympic Stadium, which later became Turner Field. Also laying bricks were former Atlanta Braves player Hank Aaron and the team's current first baseman Freddie Freeman. The team also sealed 2 time capsules. The capsules included a video of the SunTrust Park groundbreaking, parts of the Big Chicken, a 1948 World Series program, dirt from both older stadiums, a baseball signed by the 1995 championship team, and recordings from team broadcasters. These time capsules will be opened when the stadium is demolished. In June 2016, construction started on a pedestrian bridge to connect SunTrust Park with the Cobb Galleria. The bridge will span Interstate 285. To fund construction, Cobb County plans to use $5 million given by the Cumberland Community Improvement District, about $4.5 million in federal grants, $380,000 from the Atlanta Braves and about $159,000 from a special taxing district in Cumberland created to help fund the new Braves stadium's construction. The bridge is expected to be open in time for SunTrust Park's opening. In July 2016, the installation of the seats for SunTrust Park started. Also, the installation of hundreds of LED lights were installed along the edge of the ballpark's canopy from the right field foul pole to home plate. Additionally, a large light-up tomahawk was installed. While the new tomahawk will be similar to its counterpart at Turner Field, it will be upgraded. Meanwhile, the 108,000-square-foot metal canopy that will cover about 60% of these seats is nearly complete. In August 2016, the canopy, lights and seating bowl were nearing completion and the last crane remaining on the field area was removed. Public reaction. After the new stadium was announced, citizens organized campaigns both supporting and opposing the plan, which was made public only 2 weeks before the Cobb County Commission voted. More than 80% of county residents supported delaying the vote. Cobb Chairman Tim Lee and Commissioner Helen Gorham insisted that vote could not be delayed because it would threaten the stadium's timeline. An insider advantage Fox 5 poll released on November 25, 2013, showed that 59% of registered voters in Cobb County favored building a new stadium for the Braves. However, support fell to 30% of Cobb County voters when they were asked if they'd support funding the stadium with Cobb County tax dollars, with 56% opposed and 14% undecided. On September 8, 2014, the University of Florida's Department of Tourism, Recreation and Sports Management released the first independent scientific poll on Cobb residents' attitude toward the public investment in the stadium. The survey found that 55% of the survey respondents would have supported the stadium in a referendum. 2 weeks after the Atlanta Braves announced the new stadium project, the Cobb County Commission held a public hearing to vote on whether to approve the plan. Citizens who both supported and opposed the plan began crowding into the meeting hall hours before the 7 p.m. hearing was to begin, many sporting Cobb Home of the Braves t-shirts. After a 1-hour public comment on the new stadium project, the Cobb County Commission voted 4-1 to approve a memorandum of understanding with the Atlanta Braves. On May 27, 2014, the Cobb County Commissioners voted unanimously, 5-0, on the operating agreement that bound the county to borrow up to $397 million to build the new stadium. Cobb Marietta Coliseum and AMP Exhibit Hall Authority plans to issue up to $397 million in bonds for the project. Retired businessman Larry Savage, attorney Tucker Hobgood, and Austell resident Rich Pellegrino have filed notices of appeal with the Georgia Supreme Court to argue against issuance of the bonds. Attorneys Leslie Gaynor Murray and Blake Sharpton of law firm Butler Snow, the county's bond counsel, represented Cobb in the Supreme Court. The appeal was heard by the Georgia Supreme Court in February 2015. On June 29, 2015, the Georgia Supreme Court unanimously upheld the bond authorization. The failed appeal represented the last legal challenge to the SunTrust Park project. In July 2016, Cobb County Commissioner Tim Lee lost his bid for election, while some attributed his loss to his support for the SunTrust Park project. 3 out of 4 of the commissioners who voted yes were re-elected.